It's Boston's rock station, WAAF, and Jim Ryan. And on the phone, as promised, we have from the Newsroom and an upcoming show on FX called You're the Worst, Aya Cash. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here.
So just to
Spirit and in voice.
Just to give a little background, I sort of Twitter stalked you a little bit.
You're the only one.
I find that hard to believe. So
I have actually, most of my Twitter followers, I don't know if I should say this, most of my Twitter followers are Muslim because my name is Aya, which is little verses in the Quran, and they follow everybody named Aya. Not exactly my demographic. I lose them as soon as I tweet. But they keep coming back.
As I told you in my last tweet, I was rewatching season 2 of the Newsroom, and the episodes, you were in 3 or 4 episodes of that, and I'm going to kiss your ass a little bit here, if that's okay. Do you mind?
Fantastic.
All right. So you stole the show. I mean, you were fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you.
And so I'm like, all right, I'm going to Twitter stalk her and then get her, on the show. So I'm glad we got to do that. I just have a couple of questions about Newsroom. So you're not coming back for season 3.
No, I'm not. Unfortunately, I would love to, but even if they asked me, which they have not, I'm shooting You're the Worst. So the schedules sort of overlap, unfortunately. But if they asked me, I would move hell and high water.
Let me ask you about that the scene where you punched Dev Patel in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Did you really punch him? It looked pretty real.
Yes, we actually had a stunt coordinator, and she was like, you can just punch him. He can handle it. He'll tense his muscles. And so I punched him over and over again for maybe like an hour. And at the end of the day, Dev lifted his shirt, and I'd broken all the blood vessels in his stomach.
You were also in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes, I was.
What was that like? How did you end up sort of getting into that with Martin Scorsese and, of course, Leonardo DiCaprio? Was that sort of an overwhelming experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I was actually on that movie for almost 2 months. So even though I'm not a huge part in it, I got to sort of sit on set and watch everybody work for a long time. And that was incredible. And, Rob Reiner was there, and Jon Favreau, and all of those broker boys are all these really hilarious stand-up and sketch guys. So it was an amazing experience. And I credit it mostly to Ellen Lewis, who's the casting director, because she really vets actors for Martin Scorsese and brings him sort of 2 at a time for him to look at. So she really put me front and center for that. And I was so grateful.
Did you have to audition for him one-on-one?
I didn't, actually. Most people did. I think they weren't sure what was going to happen with that part. It was maybe 5 lines in the audition, and they had me just come in and improv. So Martin, Mr. Scorsese, I'm not calling him Marty, because we're not buds, but...
it's totally fine.
Oh, Marty would come over and say, hey, I want you to come talk to Jonah in this moment and just make something up, or can you do this and come over this way, and sort of create a little scene out of that. So it was very fun, and I had no idea what I was getting into and constantly terrified that they were going to be like, wait, who are you? Why are you here? But it was incredibly fun. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio is the hardest working actor I've ever seen. He had strep throat at one point and would do that screaming scene over and over again, then go do inhalations, hardcore. I was really, really impressed with everybody. Was
he the kind of guy that sort of hung out with the cast, or was he like Mr. Movie Star who was in his trailer the whole time and then would come out for the scenes?
No, he was super, super friendly. He was very professional. I wouldn't say he hung out all the time. I mean, they sort of segregate you anyway. You don't really have a choice on that. Mm-hmm. But he was super friendly and knows everyone's name, and treats everyone the same, from the grip to the extras. He was just very lovely to work with. So no movie star tendencies.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your new show, You're the Worst. So I was watching Louie on FX a couple of weeks ago, and, you just popped up on the screen, and I was like, there she is. She's back starring in her own show, because I was bummed out when you had tweeted me that you weren't going to be back on Newsroom. But the clips were so short for the show. Mm-hmm. It was a clip of you, sort of hooking up with your co-star, and then the commercial was over. And, I did some research online to find out more, and there wasn't a whole lot available. available. So you want to tell us a little bit about the show?
It's basically sort of billed as a toxic love story. Our creator calls it like the warped mad about you. It's basically about two sort of destructive, messed up people who fall for each other, and in the process, learn about themselves, don't learn about themselves, hurt each other, love each other. So it's really a romantic comedy, but it's a very dark, twisted romantic comedy. And
your character is named Gretchen, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
And what is Gretchen? What is her sort of lot in life? You said she was sort of self-destructive. What's her career path, and if there's any?
Gretchen is actually a publicist, a music publicist. So I have this sort of string of clients, like a 16-year-old type, Miley Cyrus as she was getting into twerking, or I have a rap group that comes back a lot throughout the show. So I'm a publicist, but, there's also a lot of skipping work and day drinking and ending up on the lawn in the morning.
Are there a lot of
unclothed?
Oh, that's fantastic. Are there a lot of sort of raunchy sex scenes? Is that awkward to shoot those?
Yeah, there are, and I had never done them before, and was terrified. But luckily, my co-star is also incredibly lovely, and it was a very safe environment. And ultimately, it's FX; it's not HBO. Mm-hmm. So they can't show too much, and I've made it clear what I'm willing to show, and everyone has made it a really comfortable, lovely set. By I think I had like 3 or 4 in the pilot with Jimmy, and then one with my ex-boyfriend. By the time we got to the one with my ex-boyfriend, I was like, all right, just crawl on top, fine. And he was really nervous. So you get used to it, and it's a cliche, but it's the least sexy thing that you've ever done in your life. You're like, move your elbow here, and it's not a joyous experience, but it was made lovely by the cast and crew.
When does the show air?
Yeah, we air July 17th. July 17th at 10:30 after another new show called Married on FX with Judy Greer and Nat Faxon, which I'm very excited to see as well. I just want to ask you a few sort of random questions that we ask, a lot of guests we have on the show that don't have much to do with anything except randomness. Mm-hmm. So if you could go back in time and star in any TV or TV show or movie, what would it be? I think it's a tie. It would be probably West Wing or 6 Feet Under. Princess Bride, I would love to be in. I guess that those were the first things that came to mind. Yeah, I'd do Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally. I love sort of, late 80s movies. Favorite band or singer right now? My husband is really into that Iggy Azalea. Okay. So, the white rapper from Australia. So, unfortunately, I've been subject to that over and over again, but she's growing on me. I still listen to a lot of, 1990s hip-hop. I'm not super up on my music. Are you a dog or a cat person? Dog. And iPhone or Android? iPhone. I'm a sucker for all the Mac stuff. All right. Well, Cash, thank you so much. Again, the show, it comes out July 17th, 10:30 on FX. It is called You're the Worst. And thank you so much for hanging with us today. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for Twitter stalking me.